Philip Williams, ABC Australia. If you ask an Australian, they'll probably tell you as a reflex reaction, Don Bradman was the greatest batsman ever. Your statistics are much better, except for average. Who is the greatest batsman, you or Don?
I've never believed in comparisons. I've believed more in players serving the game. And Sir Don served the game in the 20s and 30s and also part of 40s to the best of his ability, and people still talk about it. Then you had Sir Gary, Sir Viv, Sunil Gavaskar, and number of great players. And in my farewell speech also, my message to my teammates was, look after the game in the best possible manner and set example for the next generation, because you're never going to play this sport forever. You only look after this sport for a while and then pass on the baton to someone else. So make sure that you look after it in the best possible way, that people can be proud of you. And that's what I've done.
Overhead.
That's a good shot, Mr. Bradman.
Yes, a very handy little practice. Quite useful for me.
Would you mind just showing us one or two strokes now?
Just illustrate a few little shots for you, mean?
Yes, just your favourite strokes,
Right there. Now, first of all, you want to know your defensive shot. You take your back defensive play. Your back defensive shot is made that way. Then you have your forward defensive shot played in that fashion. Then we have the late cut made down through slips. We have the square cut made just behind point, going across with your right foot. Your square cut made just in front of point, going across with the left foot. Then we have your four drives, the cover drive, the off drive, the straight drive, and the on drive. They're all practically the same, except for the direction in which the ball is hit. Then you have your forward leg glance in that way, and you have the leg glance played by going back in that fashion. Then you also have what is known as the pull shot, and you have what is known as the hook shot. That covers practically the whole of the area right round the field, and those are most of the orthodox shots.
Thank you, Mr. Bradman.
The boy from Bowral, Don Bradman, is still thought of as the greatest batsman of them all. Now that's based largely on statistics. They say you can't argue with facts. Well, Don scored almost 100 runs per innings in his Test career, 99.94.
When I think of the batsmen I've watched, the best will probably be Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar. They average about 52, 53, 54 respectively. Donald Bradman averaged one good shot away from 100.
He began modestly in Test cricket, but he came to England in 1930 and he made 974 runs in those 5 Test matches, including 334 at Headingley, which was the highest score ever made in Test cricket at that point.
And Donald Bradman was a great player over 20 years, admittedly with the war in between. He started off scoring prolifically, and he finished in 1948 scoring prolifically too.
He became captain in 1934 and was a tough captain, but it's easy to captain a side where someone, i.e. yourself, is making all those runs.
Don Bradman was twice as good as anyone. No matter where you go in the world, if it's non-cricket playing nations, everyone knows the standing Don Bradman had in our sport.
The 1948 team became known as the Invincibles, and they were invincible. They didn't lose a game in that Test series. England thought they'd got him in 1932-33 in the bodyline series. They devised a new way of bowling to try and combat him. Donald Bradman still averaged 50-something. He didn't do too badly.
We've had some great players in a lot of areas, and there'll be some great debates about who the best is, but Don Bradman stands above everyone.
Lara, Tendulkar, we think of as great players. What do we do with Bradman then? All we can do is find another word for him, and that's the greatest, because he was the greatest player who's ever played cricket.
Then he became an administrator for longer than he'd been a player, and he served Australian cricket in total for something like 60 years. The Bradman Museum now is a living monument to the greatest batsman who ever drew breath.